下去都是悬崖，都是悬空，甚至到洞穴里几十米、上百米，甚至几百米。
To all the viewers, welcome tuning with CGTN New Media, and right now we are here still at this place, and we also with this expedition team to get down to the bottom of this pit to find out more the diversity of animals. And also we work with the Institute of Karst Geology of China Geological Survey, and we organize a joint scientific research team to explore these sinkholes. And actually this morning we started our journey to get down, and actually we also experienced a storm. So you could see that how we get down to here, and we actually repelled into the bottom of the sinkhole, and we tracked for hours. After the storm, we also experienced another beauty actually from the bottom of the sinkhole. So we actually know exactly how difficult it is for a cave expedition team, but after all these storms, right now we see the rainbow because we see the other angle of beauty. And right now we are here, we could see it's not a big one, but you could see that different layers. And also we know that the experts saying that they hope to find the unidentified animals and plant species, that's the unknown ones. And also you could see that all the plants growing really tall, trying to find sunshine. You're looking at all these leaves, rightly in dense layout. So once again, we are right now at the bottom of these giant sinkholes, and it offers a unique habitat where a variety of plant animals' lives can thrive. And it also starts raining. Hope it's not another round of storm. And so far about our progress. So this is our day 2. And in our previous day, and if you're tuning with us yesterday, our live streaming, we actually utilized drone to get a bigger picture of these giant sinkholes to know the depths, the volume, and the size and the shape. And right now we have the 3D. You could see this is our 3D mapping based on the data we got yesterday. So you could know a little bit more about these just discovered giant sinkholes. So these 3D modeling actually a big help for a further study about this new discovery. And the discovery of an ancient forest growing inside a giant sinkhole in southern China made headlines around the world this week. And today is our day 2. Once again, we work with the experts from the Institute of Karst Geology of China Geological Survey to conduct the scientific research. And right now for day 2, one of the big things is to learn the biodiversity here at the bottom of the pit. So once we get down, we try to find what we have. And right now we find one of these kind of a traditional Chinese medicine. So first we learn a bigger picture about what we're going to have here, because still, you know what, a whole area about this is the volume of 5 million cubic meters. So we will actually to measure this place inch by inch by feet to get more data and also a knowledge about what we have here in terms of plant species and the composition of all these species, or how many kinds of plants we have here. So we can build up the whole database. So which means each and every tree here, we need to know the information. So it's really a big workload, because we need to study a lot. So we talk about for these tree layers, we need to get them measured for this kind of the equipment we have. So first we need to measure the size. So we got this tape measure. So we normally not really measure the different places. So that's according to the unified standard. So we get a measure at around 1.3 meter height. So from the root to 1.3 meter height, we get our measures number. So here that's around the 39 centimeter diameter. So this is a very basic perimeter we got. So for today, we not have so many trees here. So you're looking at actually for the elder ones, they actually got more chance to grow into a giant tree, and when they grow into this kind of giant trees, you're looking at that the layers of leaves actually cover all the sunlight. So which means for the younger ones, they not really got a lot of chance to grow to a bigger one. So that is why we talk about that there's not really a large number of big trees. So it's not a big workload for us to get all these trees measured. So what else we have here? So we're looking at, besides all these trees, we also have other plants. They also need sunlight. So looking at a tree here. So we can also learn the ecological relationship. So you could see that actually can see that the twigs or branches actually entwined around the trees. So for these kind of like wine or cereus plant, they normally actually get their branches around the tree layers to get sunlight. So that's also help us to reveal the ecological relationship. We also see bamboo here. If you touch it, the thing is a round shape. It's actually now I can feel some a corner angle. We know that normally bamboo should be round, right? But for me, it's like I can feel that angular sort of touch and feel. So actually, it's a square shape. So we also call it a square bamboo. And also here you could see is we also call it a cloud of bamboo. So that's also one of the key feature of the square bamboo. Actually, it's really rare, found one. So which means actually it's quite well preserved, and also the ecological environment is very good with really limited and human interruption. So we talk about for this kind of square bamboo, we normally find this kind of plant at the place with really high quality of ecology and also limited human interruption. So that is why we talk about it's very good for us to find these kind of square bamboo. So we talk about it's not just a human being really hard to find a way get here. Also for other animals, it's also not easy for them to get down. So that is why we talk about that it is a very good natural environment for the plants and animals to grow here. And we know that there are a lot of cliffs around this place. So we know that how this kind of giant sinkhole formed. So we talk about that if a cave chamber gets large enough, the ceiling can gradually collapse, opening up a huge sinkholes. And once that we think about back to day one, when the ceiling just collapsed, there were not really a world of animals and plants, because actually a disaster, right? It's because the ceiling collapsed. After the collapse, and the world of plants, animals started to find their lives thriving. And we talk about Leye. This place is also known for its fabulous karst formation and also the newly discovered giant. This sinkhole also brings the number of a sinkhole in Guangxi Leye County to 30. And we talk about that this is a whole new world created by plants and animals after the ceiling collapsed. And actually, it also helps us to calculate the time of the world when it was built, because we talk about plants, animals actually all came after the collapse, and they built the world under the bottom of the pit. So help us to learn the history and development of this world of flora and fauna. And we also try to know more about what kind of plants we can find. There are a lot of the plant species. And we also can find that ferns here. We also find a large number of ferns. And also we could see the different layers. So you could see what we mean by different layers. Actually, you could also see from this picture is that different layers we have in terms of different height. We have the plants at the lower hat, and also that this kind of the giant trees, bamboos. And we also know that formation of this plant world right now, there's no human interruption, so which means there's no plant actually cultivated by human being. They just naturally build up their own world. We talk about this is karst topography, so that also build up the samples and also more knowledge to us to know about the natural law of the karst line formation. And we talk about if we want to bring everything back to its original look and feel, then we also can learn the natural law, and then we also follow that law to build up or bring back the whole look to its original shape and nature. So for a giant sinkhole, also divided into three categories. One is the immature one, second is mature one, and this one actually is a mature one. And the third one is a degraded giant sinkhole. So right now we also use the drawing to get more data and a picture for us to study more. So talking about the whole equipment you bring with you, besides the tape measurement, what else in your bag? So we talk about actually it's a trek for hours for us to get down here. So looking at what we have, so first of all, we need to make sure we are safe and safety. So we had all these locks, ropes with us. And for us, our job is to search and learn the knowledge of plants. So you could see we have this tape, a larger size of the tape measurement. Then we can get a size of a 20 meter by 20 meters. So we can get a sample with this fixed measurement. And we have a different size of the tape measurement. And for this one, it's kind of Caesar. So for the unknown plant, first we take picture, and then we take a full sample of the plant. And then we'll bring that back. And after doing a round of research, we can know more about what this kind of a plant is. And also inside this bag, we have this a label with us. So for different samples, we also will have different tag with it. So let's say this is a unknown plant. You could see we get a sample. And then we will tie a tag onto it. All right, and then use a pencil to write down the record. So basically, you could see that this is a process of a sample picking and recording. So on the tag, basically, we will write down the number and also to write down where we find it. So we will basically write down what kind of environment around this plant, location, the altitude, the altitude, the geological feature, and also the slope of the terrain will all be written down. So we will fill in the form for each and every sample. So we don't know the name because maybe this one is a known plant. So we will just write down number 001. And we will also write down the shape, the original look, and also the number of the picture. So we have a full set of data. And what else we will bring with us? Food, right? So this is kind of the equipment we have. And also you can see right now we have 2 windows, and that's another team. Right now they are also getting down, try to get their way. So we also call this person the trailblazer. We talk about actually just based on that this is really the a professional one. And also we talk about, once again, this is also the largest so far giant sinkhole with 1,000 feet long, 500 feet wide, and 630 feet deep. It's a very challenging work. So we bring you from this angle. This is the FPV, so you could know exactly how difficult it is to get down to the bottom of the pit. So we talk about the old members of the cave expedition team members will all actually make the effort to rappel into the cave. And normally it takes around an hour for the professional ones to get down. So we also talk about whether it's possible that we can find plant communities. Yes, actually, we already found some plant communities here. So there is a rock here. So what the kind of the plant we have, you could see that these plants first grown out of the rock. Right, and grown from the cracks of the rock. And then for this one, we believe that it is also kind of the bryophyta. So we also already took the picture and sent to the expert. And also according to the expert, they told us actually this is so far haven't seen in Guangxi. So which means that this is the very first time to find this kind of plant in Guangxi. It's a very unique plant. So we talk about for this kind of the plant, normally you could find in the karst topography. So we talk about that these plants actually quite like to grow themselves in the karst landform. And we talk about this is the kind of Gasnariaceae. So we talk about this kind of the plant very like to grow from the a limestone. So it's this kind of a plant that like to grow somewhere near to the a water where they can get water. So you could see that this is rock, but also it's a plant community growing here. So we also can see a large number of moths. Still back to day one of the collapse, the ceiling collapsed. So who came first? Moths, right? So for the lower plant, the first grown here, and they also produce some acidic element. And when the acidic elements plus limestone, and they could also provide nutrient to other plant. So we talk about moths, you could think about the trailblazer, right? They were a very first one that came to this place to build up the foundation of the world. And also we find the other plant, a angiosperm as well. So we could see that just at this one piece of rock, we could find a lot of different kinds of plant. So we find angiosperm and moss. And also we could see the very first time we found just Neracea. So that's also show our viewers. Just at the one rock, there are a variety of plants. We also call it a very small plant community here. So for the experts, they are the plant experts. So they really get a lot of the environment and also plus food with them. So that food will provide energy to them so they can carry out work at the bottom. Water, of course. And also, with them, also bring a telescope, the portable one, very lightweight, so we could zoom in to the targeted leaf, so help us to identify the category of the plant. We see if also telescope cannot help us to get a clearer picture of the plant, what else we can have? So we will see that the fallen leaf, let's see, find a tree, let's to see whether we can pick a fallen leaf on the ground. Because the tree actually is really tall, we cannot really climb to the tree to get a leaf sample, right? So we will try to find whether we can find a fallen leaf on the ground, so we can pick it up and bring that back to the institute. And what else we will find? We also try to find a sample of a sampling. So that sapling also help us to know the history and development of this karst landform and also the formation of a plant world. And for the eggplant, sometimes that we also find this kind of that wild banana, but we also actually to identify whether it's toxic or not. And also we have a handbook for edible plant. So let's see if weather is not helping, what we can do. So first is to hide yourself because that's really big storm, not really conducive to carry out the work here. Because we know actually the weather is changing dynamically. So we talk about actually just like 50 meters in distance, and weather is different. So maybe it's raining here, but just 50 meters in distance, that place not raining. So we talk about it should based on its geology, climate, and other factors. So we talk about the weather conditions quite different. So the humidity is also different. And also down here, you not really feel way too hot. Temperature is not high. We talk about actually at the bottom here. It's like the air conditioning all year round. So it's really cool down here. And also help us to understand the plant. So we talk about this one, the newly discovered giant sinkhole that's originated from an underground river system. So that underground river system also help us to know how that linked to the formation or composition of a plant. So for a lot of viewers want to know how to become a botanist. So first of all, you need to really have your love and passion in plants. And for myself, I actually learned bioscience, my bachelor degree, and also for my master degree, I'm really interested in karst landform. So I learned a lot, and later on, I also went to the Institute of Karst Topography. So for my PhD, I also studied geology. So for right now, I'm studying the biodiversity of a karst topography. So still, because my interest is in this karst topography, so that I have quite a clear route where I want to head to. And for this one, it's banana, and wild banana. It's tasty. But the thing is, like for banana, normally there's no seed, right? But for wild banana, you can see and feel the seed. The taste is sour but sweet. But you cannot take too much. You cannot digest. But still it's tasty. Wild banana. And also we find a fruit tree. That's a loquat tree. So loquat is kind of a fruit. So we talk about that actually when we got down here, we found the animal waste. It's the waste from the flying squirrel. So it's also identified as its name suggests. It's just a shape and size and look like a squirrel, but it's the one that can fly. So that squirrel has wings. So that's a flying squirrel. Normally we can find in this kind of a sinkhole. So we talk about for this kind of a landform, just this kind of animal just fly from one cliff to another cliff, from one tree to another tree. But we talk about the flying squirrel. Actually, it's kind of a mammal. So we talk about for a flying squirrel, it can fly from the really high altitude to the lower altitude, but it cannot fly from the low altitude to the high altitude. So it also helps to identify the flying squirrel from birds. But we talk about how that the flying squirrel get up to the tree. So it's a climb to the tree and flying to the other one. But only find one place at food of this animal waste. So we talk about actually they move in the night and sleep in the daytime. So they normally find food in other places, but they put their waste at only one fixed place. So also which means they also occupy that place sort of like their home. Also looking at this is FPV angle to show our viewers. That's another lady. Her name is Zhou Huanghe. She also the first one to get down to the pit. She also known as the path finder. So basically, her job is try to find the most visible path for the whole cave expedition team. So basically, she paved the way for the following team members to get down to the bottom of the pit. And also one of her key job is to also make this kind of a anchor point. So that's also easier for the team members to get down. We talk about actually the whole team tracked for hours to get down to the bottom of a giant sinkhole. Right, this is our day 2 to find out the spectacular of the giant sinkhole, and it's also the second day for us to learn more knowledge about this newly and latest discovery. And for our discovery, we will also last for more days. So we will also work with the experts to know more about the animal world and also the underground river system. So please always stay tuned with CGTN to know more about this giant sinkhole.